Okay, this may be a little ranty today. It's just like, I swear to God, I've just got all these things that I just keep being like, oh my God, this is irritating. Oh my God, this is so irritating. Yesterday, I could not believe. I got up, I was up super early, that's my thing. And so I recorded early. And so then I set it to upload before I ever left. I set it to upload like 7:30 in the morning because I left like 7. So I started like at 7 because I left here like at 7:20 to go up to the food bank because I thought, oh, I want to get there early so I don't have to wait in line so long. Oh my God, you still have to wait in line so long. And it's still the same thing with, I don't know. The Russians really stick together. That's what I'll say. They really stick together, and they're go-getters. I was just like, man, and they take over the whole front of the line. And one thing, because I was right behind them, one thing I noticed too that was kind of strange is like there was people from the food bank standing at all the things, monitoring, like watching what we were taking. And I was thinking, because those people go in and they'll come out with they'll be the first ones in and they'll come out with cartloads of stuff. And so I was thinking, oh, so they kind of have like a little shady thing going here. And that guy had called him out before, but you can see. And then to me, it's like, I'm not going to judge them. Like, I don't know what their motivation is, what their life has been, but, they get like the system, like, take what you're going to get because this system is out to fuck you. So anyways, I mean, we could probably all learn by them. But I kind of, yesterday I was thinking, I wonder how they would feel if we just went and piled like a bunch of people up front and then come on and then kept pushing them further back. I think they would probably get irritated. So but there was a couple like one of the things, there was a couple things. Okay, let's see if for one thing, I want to say a couple of things that I think are important. The day before, I was watching something, I guess, I don't know, but something about a copper cup. Like, I don't know if I was watching something and they drank out of a copper cup or what, but something about a copper cup came into my mind. And I thought, oh, I bet you I should look into getting a copper cup. I bet you there's something to that. Because, like, you shouldn't be cooking in Teflon. You should be cooking in cast iron. That actually gives us something back. The Teflon is poisonous. So the copper cup, I was thinking, oh, yeah, it's a natural metal. Like, it would have minerals and stuff we need. I bet you there's something to that. So, and then I forgot about it the next morning, and I got up and went up to the food bank. And there was this guy. I never had seen him before. And he just, I don't know, some things, like, you just kind of see through things and you just kind of find them irritating sometimes. And anyways, you're not supposed to have animals in the line and stuff. This guy had 2 dogs off leash, and you had this one lady who was obviously a very heavy smoker. She was very, rah, yeah, get over here with your dogs. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like, I feel like I'm in a bar. What's happening here? Like, these people with, oh my gosh, it was like scenes I've seen played out in a tavern, I swear to God. And these interactions and just listening to some of the conversations, I'm like, oh my God, is this really what you guys think about and talk about? What is happening? But this guy, I imagine he was probably an 80s rocker and just was still representing his time, his era, and who he was. But he was walking around with the copper cup, drinking out of it. I was like, oh yeah, the copper cups. I got to look up about this copper cup situation. So then I come home and put away all my food, which I got such a fucking haul. I would tell anybody, find out where your food bank is locally. Because even when I was in Northern California and on that little farm and he was gathering up stuff, he was taking it up to the food center that he said that they distribute it to the food banks, so they get stuff from little farms. And yesterday I was up there, it was so much So much produce. Oh my gosh. So much. And you're not paying for it. That's just mind blowing. Like at the store, $10 for a head of lettuce. Up here, you get, take two. And so you have all of this stuff. And I even ask, is this locally grown? And he goes, yeah, this is from, I think they called it Twin Sister Farm or something, but it's little farms. So you can kind of figure they probably don't use a bunch of chemicals, but I mean, you still got to wash everything like it is. But there's a ton of produce up at the places right now with all of the small farms that donate their food. So go up and check it out and get some. But so when I got back from there, I had so much, and like I said, it was I was kind of excited, like, what am I going to eat this week? And yesterday there was like a sack of fresh green beans. And so I cooked those, and then a whole bunch of fresh Yukon Gold. So, and onions. So I sauteed an onion and put some potatoes and green beans, and then hard boiled them, cooked them to like really cook them down like how my grandma used to cook them. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Oh, they were so good. Me and Stella both ate them. They were so delicious. And then also, since I got all these fresh vegetables, I got so many that which I learned that you can use carrot greens, so a ton, because I got purple carrots, white carrots, and orange carrots, the gourmet fancy carrots that they charge you a fortune at the store. And they all had the greens still attached. And so when you take the greens and you cut those up, and you can make them into a pesto. So, and I got a ton of fresh basil. I got all sorts of fresh herbs. So I'm gonna make a pesto sauce for some pasta or something. And then I also made like a verde kind of like a ranchero verde kind of sauce. I would say kind of more ranchero, because I did put some red tomatoes, because I got some red, some tomatillas, some peppers, cilantro, all that stuff. And so I made that. And so I also have cornmeal, so I'm gonna make fresh tortillas. And so I'm gonna use that for making that stuff. I've got a bunch of broccoli. I think I'm going to make a broccoli and cheese quiche. So it is fun. You go and get this stuff, and it's like, oh, what am I going to eat? And yeah, I have all this good stuff to eat, so I'm really excited. And I love to cook. So it was kind of fun yesterday, making all these different things. So that's something I enjoy. It just came to my head again. Just all the stuff I hear people talking about. It's just like, oh my God, this is so mental. I feel like I'm in an insane asylum. So, anyways, I got a bunch of good food. I come home, and I probably slipped my mind again about the copper cup, but this is what the universe will do. When they want you to know something, they will make sure you know. Like, your higher self is like bringing you information they want you to know about. So I go on TikTok, and this girl comes on talking about copper water bottles and how important it is, because she was sick. And she starts saying, you fill your water bottle with good water, not faucet water. No telling what will happen. But you get some water, and then you put it in the copper bottle overnight, and then you drink it the next day, and it's got all this antimicrobial, it is antifungal, like all this stuff that it can do to help your immune system. So I'm going to start doing that all the time. I ordered a bottle, of course, so like, it's supposed to be here today. So I'm going to start my copper water, and Stella will be drinking the copper water. And then I'm going to I saw somebody else talking about these oxygen drops and how much that they've helped them, and they're not getting enough sleep. And they've got little kids, but they're like getting sleep from like 12 to 3. And then they get like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so tired. And she said she did the drops, and she just had total energy. And she went to, I think she said work. She was around somebody, and they kept yawning and yawning. So she told them and asked them if they wanted to take them. And they took the oxygen drops, stopped yawning, and felt energized. So I think there's something in our body that is just not giving us all the oxygen we need. And that's the thing, is why it affects your eyes and stuff. When I had watched that documentary thing, it said it is the lack of oxygen and oxidants in our eyes, because our system is not moving well enough. Our blood cells aren't oxygenated and oxygenated enough. So anyways, I ordered that, and that's supposed to be here. I think the water bottle comes today, and the oxygen comes tomorrow. So I'll keep trying those. Definitely this zeolite. For me, I keep, somebody did say yesterday that they could, my eyes look different. That they said your eyes look more clear. That's what I keep thinking, that my eyes look more clear. But it definitely looks more clear looking out from my eyes. And for me, like I would say, I probably have some pretty intense stuff wrong with my eyes. It didn't just start going bad from this stuff. It already had, predisposing problems because of the brain injury, and already they gave me glaucoma. Then when the chemicals come in, my eyes were just like, fuck this shit. And so, for me, it's like it cleared up, like there was like a fog or something that was over my eyes. So the fog went away. There was big giant things that I think was the GR stuff, big black things in my eyes that were blocking my vision all over the place. And so now it is more like, I feel like my eyes are more like when a few years ago, when I very first started having some floaters. There's still something right over here in this eye, and I keep shutting both eyes to see so I can isolate where the problem is. And I would say this eye over here has something that is still kind of blocking it here. And then when I look at some light, I can still see these floaters going around, but they're like the little tiny ones that you would still see like when you were a kid. You could see those, if you were laying outside. So I'm still seeing those, and there's still something blocking right here, but I can still see through it. I'm just aware that how I see right here is different than how I see over here. Like there's a difference in the how defined something is. It's more blurry in this part. And then plus my eyes, I'm trying to go full on back to where you don't need glasses, no reading glasses, nothing. And I just, when I've been talking about my eyes on TikTok, another guy came and said that he had created his own concoction, and he was wearing glasses, started taking his own concoction he made of herbs, and now he doesn't need glasses anymore. All of this stuff that is wrong with us is all created. Like, we don't have all these problems. They are doing this stuff to make us sick. So we do have these problems. So we run to them. Oh, we need glasses. And when you wear the glasses, it messes with your eyes even more. It makes your eyes weak and lazy. And so, it's just all part of their system. It's all part of the whole thing. And, for sure, as you age. And so if they take away your sight, but you think it's just naturally happening, but it's really just because you're so sick, because you're so poisoned, and you take away your sight, and then take away your health, and you're just achy and stuff. You can see why old people just get to the point of just giving up, like, fuck, can't see shit. And it is very frustrating when you can't see anything. Like, you're constantly feeling around for things. But it also, there's a good point to it, because you start using other senses. You tune in to other senses. You use touch sometimes, and hearing, like you just use different things. So there is good parts to it. But anyways, I just see all of these different things that they do gets people to just give up. They're just like, oh my gosh, life's too hard. Life sucks. And oh my gosh, the amount of people who have got issues right now who are just being bent over by the system. The system is just fucking, oh my gosh. Well, here's a story for you. This is like a typical thing that's going on, but this is more personal. My daughter has her dog who has cancer. And so she went yesterday to the appointment. And then plus she's in the middle of this, it looks like it could be going to a divorce situation. And it's just, it started being quickly moving into hostility. And then yesterday, after they got such bad news, then it may be a little bit more gentle with each other. I'm not sure. We got to see how this plays out. But so they go up to the appointment to get the prognosis and the diagnosis and lab results and all that stuff. So apparently the doctor said, well, we should have tested this. We shouldn't have taken it out. We should have left it in there because now we've released this toxin inside of him. He's going to die and all this stuff. So it's just always with, well, we didn't know. Well, we tried. Well, sorry, but you're going to die. I mean, this keeps happening over and over and over for people. Like, Western medicine is just like, well, we tried. That's all they know how to do. And they're limited because they're taught just to be drug dealers. They're not taught. They're taught certain things, but they're taught to very much rely on drugs as the cure for everything. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, it might have been the day before, I got a packet in the mail from the doctor's office again. It was like, what it is too. Because, insurance, all of it is owned by the same people. So, and remember back to when it was Obama, and I think it's kind of like people have forgotten or something. There's just been way too many crises. But when they made it to where you have to have insurance or we'll charge you if you don't have insurance. Because I was thinking yesterday, they're sending me this stuff. They want you to come in. Okay, so their next step would be, okay, well, we're not going to cover you. Insurance is not going to cover you if you don't go in and do your, what do they call it? Preventative. If you don't go in and do all this preventative stuff, the preventative stuff is just looking for a way to get you on the drugs. The drugs, then if you don't take those, well, you're not following doctor's orders. So there's a word for that too. You're non-compliant. So we can't do anything for you. You're non-compliant. You're not doing what we say. You got to take this or you're just non-compliant. So there's these constant loopholes. So you don't go to the doctor and do what the insurance requires so that they can find something wrong with you. Then and your body's healing itself all the time. Remember, because I had Hep C, it didn't go to the doctor, didn't get diagnosed, didn't know, and healed myself from it. That's what our body's trying to do all the time. And that is why it's important for us to constantly be, really working on our immune system and all this stuff. I think it's important. Cooking your cast iron, drink out of this copper. I don't think you have to drink every bit. And supposedly it's pretty strong tasting, especially if you leave it longer than overnight. But, once every couple days, once a week, I don't know. I'm going to try it out and see how I feel. I'm just going to keep doing all of this stuff, heading towards this more natural state of being without all these chemicals. But so if the, I got to think of what I was saying. If the, I've just got way too many things on my mind. They're all just rushing into my head. I just saw this video and this just bothered me so much. I was watching it. Okay, so this whole thing with New Age. So that's all just taken off on its own little thing, apparently. And now it's New Age against religion or something. I'm not sure. These people who wake up and they're not even fully awake. Like a lot of these people who are out there, pushing a lot of the spiritual stuff are, 100% all in the program, all in the system. And then they're trying to preach about spiritual. And now I guess they've taken off and now they've taken this whole thing about New Age. And I kept talking about back in the day when you went off of religion, and you started talking about spirituality, and which, then that led you into reincarnation. I think it still does. Like, I don't know what these people's path is as they're awakening. Like, mine was so different. It was such a long time ago on the whole thing about spiritual. Like, this is something like that I've been practicing for a long time. Spirituality is your own personal relationship with your maker. And all these people want to control it and tell you, what you have to do. So, I don't know. I was on my own journey a long time ago. I was talking about reincarnation and stuff like that a long time ago when people just thought it was wacky. And that's when we started getting called New Age. And it was a thing that they'd put it on TV. They'd make fun of people who were New Age and, these wacky people who don't follow the Bible and think you're reincarnated and stuff. And so we were called New Age. And just on my own personal journey, that took me more into aliens and our history, technology, and all of that stuff. So to me, it all kind of goes together, because as you learn about it, you see it all does go together. So I'm not sure what is being talked about right now, but I keep seeing don't you listen to these New Age people. Keep away from the New Age people. These New Age people, they're the craziest people of all. It's like, what in the hell is going on? Like, oh my God. It is so wacky. I'm not even shitting you. Like, how many people, like yesterday I saw one, and she was talking about divine partnerships and this whole twin flame thing, because these people who start feeling that they're a twin flame, well, they just think, oh, it's just this romantic thing. I'm just going to run in. We're going to be together forever and we're going to love each other. And it's like, yeah, but then you would just be having the same relationship with a divine partner, because you haven't healed. You have to heal. You have to raise the bar. You have to become better, more complete, more whole. You can't just go into a divine partnership the way you were. You have to elevate to get there. But these people, of course, because they're so in ego, they just think, they don't look at it right. But so anyways, this girl, she was on there and she was so mad. And she was like, what in the hell is going on? All these people who are saying the wrong stuff, and they got these people believing all this stuff. So all of this division keeps going. And like I said, like the spiritual TikTok, obviously the twin flame TikTok, the patriot TikTok, like all of these people who have formed these subcultures in this app, they're all dividing. They're all just going crazy. Like they're starting to see, hey, wait a minute, you guys aren't saying the right stuff. You guys are preaching things that are not helping people. You're hurting people. You're giving them false information. Like if you just tell somebody, oh yeah, just go out, maybe just start calling them or something. It's like, okay, well, you want to be a stalker? Because they're not going to know who the fuck you are. They're not going to recognize you until they heal. They have to heal in themselves to recognize you. Like you have to heal to get to the point of union, to be around each other. Like you have to just imagine how much you have to love yourself to be around somebody who's just like you. You have to really like yourself. Or how can you be around somebody who's so similar to you? You're going to be triggered all the time. If you don't love yourself, everything is a trigger. Just like what I was talking about with the parents, how they're so triggered by their children. Like, and just imagine you take this child who you give birth to, you look at them, they're so perfect. I mean, we all have gone in there and watched our kids sleep. Like, oh my God, look at them. They're so perfect. They're angels. And then, they're up moving. And it's like, get in your room. Like it's a complete change of attitude. So that's triggers. Those are triggers that come up in us. Oh, and it's our own stuff that is being triggered. It isn't about them. We're just venting our stuff out on them. But everything is a trigger to help us to be able to recognize our own pain and suffering and our need to heal it. But anyways, I know I'm jumping around now. So, anyways, I wasn't even going to talk about the divine partnership thing, but it is very much like so many people at this time are meeting or being triggered, or it is like your souls have recognition. It's like, oh wait, I know you. I know you. I know you. And then and in the beginning, like when it first happens, it's like a desperate need, like your soul wants to make contact. It's like, I've got to make contact. But then your guides keep telling you, like, oh no, you got to work on yourself. There's no having contact until you work on yourself. You got to heal your problems. And you got to, you know, not just heal your problems, but you have to build yourself back up. Because when you go through the awakening, you have to tear yourself down to the bones. Like you have to tear everything off of you, because you start finding out how much of you was created by the machine. So you have to go in and figure out like who you truly are. So it's not just healing old stuff, it's also building yourself back up into who you really are, so that you can be your best self. But see, these people who are just want to skip it is the same with the spirituality. Oh no, skip all that. Healing, just raise your vibration. It's like, and then you have these people trying to artificially raise their vibration, just living in frustration. It's like, why isn't this working? Why can't this work for me? What am I doing wrong? It's like everything. You're doing everything wrong. There is nothing that you are doing right if you are following somebody. And then you, like, if you're following somebody and they keep saying, do this, do this, do this, and nothing is working for you, open yourself up. You know, go in and do some more, follow some more people, see what other people are saying about this, like expand your information, you know, and give yourself the opportunity for discernment. You know, trust yourself. Like, you're going to know it's going to feel right or it's going to feel wrong. And when something feels wrong, it's going to feel like that. Why isn't this working? Well, it's not working because that's not how it's supposed to work. It's not supposed to be. You just artificially raise your vibration and that fixes it. And then you call yourself spiritual. You run down and do some ayahuasca and you buy a bunch of crystals, walk out in nature, and then call yourself spiritual. That is not spiritual. That is, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Like, it is bizarre how they're marketing like the super spiritual, you know, the people who are so caught up in ego when they come into their spirituality that they think that they are the godsend. They've got it all figured out. You know, you just do this. And maybe those people didn't have as much to heal, but then they're going to have to face the fact that there's a lot of people who did have a lot to heal and that they're misguiding them. They're putting out a negative energy for those people, because those people are needing to heal and they're telling them, oh no, don't worry about that. Just find a place to be happy. You got to find a way to be happy. I literally saw somebody say that yesterday. Like, don't worry about your pain. Don't worry about that stuff. Just put that aside and find a way to be happy. Ignore that. Okay, so let's just keep our baggage, just push it down a little harder. You just really stuff it in there. And then go out and just put on a happy face and pretend to be happy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's worked for everybody so far, right? Everybody's just truly happy. You want to find true happiness and joy, you have to heal. You have to face your wounds. You have to face the demons in the closet. And you have to become your best self. And you have to give forgiveness for people who you think have wronged you. Because if you can't give forgiveness, you're holding on to the energy of resentment and pain and suffering. So what is that energy? It's not affecting them. Not affecting them whatsoever. It's affecting you. You're giving yourself illness. You're giving yourself cancer. You're holding in disease because you're holding on to resentment and anger. So, and remember yesterday what I said about the energy. You're pulling that in because you're putting that out. Oh, I'll never speak to them again. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, that is a lot of energy. Hate is a huge energy to give power to. So I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. So you're just pulling that energy towards you, that free energy that's out there looking for something that feels good to them, that loves that feeling of hate and is going to attach to you, then start feeding you full of messages, and you're going to just go darker. Like, people don't even recognize how dark they've gone. I swear to God. This woman today, and I talked about this Gnostic, I don't know, I think last year. I'm losing so much track of time. Like, I can't even fucking believe it. But I can't even believe it. It's going to be September tomorrow. September 2022. Like, oh my God. This is so mental. But I wanted the awakening to go fast. But I already, it's because I've been processing this stuff for a long time. And, I've got to just reel it in and be like, okay, everybody deserves the same amount of time I use to process and to grow and to understand things. So, I really have to get control over my own thing about timing and whining. Oh, I want it now. I want it now. Come on, come on. Because that's how it feels inside. And part of it is you do have to control your own emotions, and it is a mastery of your emotions when you get control, because we have no control over fate and destiny. It's going to happen. We're on a script. There's nothing we can do about that. And we'll get ourselves all worked up thinking that we can control it, thinking we can do something different. We can't. So what can we control? Our emotions. We can control how we feel. We can control how we look at things. And we have every day, every day, we get an opportunity to try it out. So, and so every day, self-talk and, trying to get my mind clear and, just accept and stay current or stay present and live my life and focus on what I can control, and cooking or cleaning or whatever, something around here, because I'm not going to be going out. Like, I can't even believe, I mean, I can 100% believe what they're doing in Mississippi. It's like, it's got to keep getting more and more absurd. I don't even think Michigan has ever gotten clean water from the first time I heard about that. What was that, fucking 10 years ago? Like, and they're just going to keep on going and going until people become outraged and, we want to put a stop to it. And the only way to put a real stop to it is for us to abandon it, for us to pull free. Stop giving the system energy, just like what I'm talking about with hate. You give it energy. We give the system energy. We have to pull free from it. And, and they're going to keep showing that they don't give a fuck about any of us. Like, I mean, I just feel so bad for all these different people. I saw footage in China. Like, oh, motherfucking hell. When I say, like, they are like the beta, like they are the window to the plan. Like, everything that they do to them is what they plan on doing to us. So it's like they are showing us, and it's on a screen because that's how we see it. We're not there in person, so we see it on the screen. But they have done something so high to the temperature there. I'm not even sure what temperature these people are at. And besides the fact, I noticed like last winter that they are doing something, and I've seen more people talking about this now, so I know that this is also a thing of the temperature and the thermostats and stuff aren't matching. Like, I've been talking about that for a while, but now more people are like showing all of these different ones, like, okay, this is not matching. So, no telling how hot it is. I know here, like, it'll be really, I don't know, yesterday was kind of, I definitely am getting the feeling that this is turning tropical. And I thought that a while, I think I said that last summer. I said, it's kind of weird because it kind of, like, when I go outside, I feel like it's like I smell the ocean. I feel like it's kind of becoming tropical or something. And now I'm feeling like that again. Yesterday, it definitely felt tropical and weird. There was suddenly a ton of birds. Like, what in the fuck is going on? I mean, a ton. And they were all these little birds. I put out these hummingbird feeders because I thought, well, maybe if I draw some birds here somehow. I haven't seen any go near a hummingbird feeder, but oh my God, there was a ton of these little singing birds. But we still have this tropical bird out there making these noises that is like you would hear in the jungle. It's weird as shit. And but all these little birds that show up, it's like, where the hell did they come from? They just hatch out? Did the moms just, the eggs have been sitting there and they hatched out all on their own, fed themselves? Like, where the fuck did these birds come from? Seriously. There was nothing, and now all of a sudden there's these birds. Like, this is weird. Shit, it just gets weird. Yesterday, it smelled so strong of smoke when I went outside. I was like, oh my God, is there a fire? Like, what the hell? So I went outside, and then it got smokier and smokier to the point my throat was scratching. It smelled so strong of smoke. I could see smoke all over to the right, all in front of me. And I was like, I bet you those fucking construction workers. So I started looking it up, and it was burn ban, not supposed to be burning. So I called the fire department and I said that there's smoke out here. Is there, is there a burn ban? And they said, yeah, you're not supposed to be burning unless you have a thing. But in order to have a thing, like, how do you go get it? You have to have emergency. Like, there's a burn ban, but here, I got an emergency. I need to burn. I don't care if it's about to start a forest fire. Let me burn. So she asked me about a zillion questions. And then I saw the fire chief drive down my road. So he was out looking, and I only saw him go by my house once. So I'm not sure where he ended up going, but whatever, the fire got put out. So I imagine it probably was, maybe it was a neighbor, maybe it was the construction people yesterday. They had some big truck, and it sounded like they were clearing space. It's so fucking loud. Clearing space to put another house. And I just cannot motherfucking wait. I swear to God, when these banks crash, yeah, I would like to see these bitches, like, they're going to come in with their own money and they don't have an open pocketbook. There's just, oh, here, you need this. Oh, here, you need that. So they can go in and charge $450,000 for these fucking matchstick houses with no yard. Such fucking madness. And just destroying this whole community. Just here, we're going to make a little ghetto over here. We're going to make it look real nice, but in a couple of years, it's going to look like shit. And it's going to be overcrowded, hot. And, but, as soon as the banks crash, these people are not going to finish this stuff. There's no way they're going to come in. And who knows what their bank accounts are even going to look like. Like, the banks aren't going to be giving them any money. I imagine that they're not getting a bunch of money right now. I don't know. We'll see. But I really don't think they're going to finish anything. Once the banks crash and you can only sell the house for $12,000. You're going to go in and do all that? No, that's why we have to get to the point where we're making our own fucking houses. Because it's what we want. It's how we want it. It's the supplies we want, not just this, we're going to run down and get this shitty stuff and we're going to throw this house together and then we're going to charge you a fortune because that's what we do. That's what builders do. These fucking, they're so deep in the system, I swear to God. But I still haven't said what this woman said this morning. So a while back when I had said about the Gnostic, and I don't know that much about it, and I think I was watching something on David Wilcock, and he was explaining something. I was like, oh, well, that's what I would feel like I am. I'm a Gnostic then, I think. But I don't know that much about it, or it as a religion or anything like that. So I'm no expert on it. But so I heard this woman, but I had a positive feeling about it. When I heard about it, I was thinking, oh, this is the hidden truth. This is what they want to keep hidden from the people. And so this woman, and I was really confused. And then when I saw it, it was a duet. So it was another woman, and she's just like, oh my God, she was up dancing around. Oh, yeah, see that, yes, oh, what she said. Like a big drama. Like this woman was going crazy trying to confirm what the other lady was saying. And the duet is a split screen. So you have the one person doing their post, and then you have the person's reaction. And this person's reaction was just, she was going crazy. And I was just like, I was trying to figure out, like, what are they saying? Like, I'm so confused because she's going through and she's explaining all this stuff about New Age and Gnosticism and all of this stuff. But then she says that it is like the devil, like New Age and Gnosticism, and everything is against the Bible, it's against God, it's all the devil, and we're all just You got to watch out for these people. Don't listen to these new age people. They're talking about Gnosticism, the old knowledge and the power and all this stuff. So I was like, I swear to God, I was so confused. Like I had my thumb over the heart. I was like, wait, what? No, wait, what? And I kept being like, is she saying this is good or bad? I'm so confused. But so we get through the whole thing, and then she goes in to the whole thing about, you got to stick with your Bible, stick with your religion. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. He told us the truth. And it was just like, oh my God, oh my God. Where am I? I swear to God. Oh my God, I just can't. Even this is where I said, like, I feel like I am fucking in some goddamn time warp with these people who are so primitive. They cannot think outside the fucking Bible, much less outside the box. It's like every fucking thing in the Bible, the Bible, the Bible. This yesterday, this also. So I was up in the Food Line thing, and it was enough going on with the old rocker and the bar sounding lady, and oh my gosh, it was just like, oh God, line, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I was just like, oh, and I'm sitting here thinking, I just must be the most unfriendly person. Like, this stuff irritates the fuck out of me. Shallow shit, show off shit, all of it just is like, oh my God, this is so cringe. So, and behind me, these people, they came right after me, and there was like 3 or 4 of them in their group. And so a lot of people, it seems like that they know each other because we go up here, each week. It's not a big crowd. I mean, we live in a rural place. I don't know. I think it's like 10,000 people around here or something. I don't know. It's not huge. And so the guy's standing behind me, and he's talking to these women. And I won't go through this whole conversation. I'll just tell you a couple key points. So he's talking about the emblem on his hat. It might be on his shirt too, but his emblem. So he wears this emblem so that people will ask him about it, so he can tell them about Jesus. It's all about the Jesus. Jesus is your holy Savior. I swear to God, I wanted to turn around and start, but I'm not. I'm not. Some religious scholar, so I can start saying, well, what about this? Well, what do you have to say about this? I'm just like, to me, it's all about the attitude. I'm way more of what is that? A daydreamer flake. So I pick up on my own instincts about the situation. And, I don't need to go into an argument and try and, fact for fact. But so he's going on about this, like, he's such a religious man. He loves Jesus so much that he's got to spread the holy word, and he's got to draw people in with this emblem so people will ask him, so he can spread the word of Jesus. So after he's gone through all this, and it's just the super Christian, all these people are just the super spirituals, the super twin flame, like all these people, they just think they're above and beyond the rest of everybody else. So he then starts they're looking at some giant hornet's nest or something, and it's like 5 foot, and they're all watching some video of this guy's explaining how he's killing all these hornets or some sort of wasp. They're talking about these bugs or whatever. But the whole thing was, so as he's talking about it, and he's just like murder, 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 murder. And then I think it was getting to the point where the other Christian women were just like, ooh, it's a little intense on the murder. It's bugs, but still, it's a little intense. And he goes, well, where does it say in the Bible you can't kill animals or something like that? It was, you can't beat an animal. That's what it was. You can't. I don't think he said kill. I think he said, and he might have even said beat a dog. But it was definitely beat or kill an animal or a dog. Like, where does it say in the Bible you can't do that? And I was like, motherfucker, that's the whole goddamn problem. Where's it say in the Bible? Well, I can do it if the Bible says so. If the Bible doesn't say it, I can do it. It's like, motherfucker, it's inside of you. Like, the truth is inside of you. Like, you don't have something inside of you that says don't fucking kill? I talked about this in the very fucking beginning. And this was in the beginning of my awakening, because I even had called my brother the day that I had this recognition. And I was like, did you know that there is people who don't kill just because the Bible says so? And people like, so? Until you really get it. When you get it, you get it. It's like, what? Like, it didn't affect him. And I think he might understand it more now. But when I was talking about some of this stuff, it was like, I mean, you think people are asleep now, like, whoa, I'm not kidding you. I was talking about crimes against humanity. I was saying how they charge us for land. Like, you can't charge us. They don't own this shit. Like, I was talking about all that stuff, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, whenever it was after, because in mine has been such a process. It's been such a huge process. You know, the whole awakening, the whole healing, the whole rebuilding, all of it. And so I've been talking about some of this stuff, and that's why I started, where people were just like, oh my God, Kelly's crazy. And it was so close to after my brain injury. It was like, oh, what happened to her? Oh, she was crazy. Then she got a brain injury, and then she just went crazier. Because I was talking about stuff people just could not even wrap their heads around. But yeah, the people think because the Bible says don't kill, that's the only reason not to kill. The Bible says don't, so I'm not gonna. But it doesn't say I can't kill an animal. I can kill as many animals as I want because the Bible says. Oh, and I remembered what that was the other day, the buffalo. I'm telling you, when you really start trying to put it together, I remember being in history class, and they pull out these dates. Oh, and this date, this was happening. This date, this was happening. But then you start putting it all together, and it doesn't make sense. Like, oh, okay, so some people are living on plantations. Some people are escaping through this railroad, and then other people are living in these far fantastical cities that you don't even need to. You just float around. I was like, what in the hell? Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. It's all fucking lies, lies, lies. And but what was I gonna say? Something with the Bible, probably. I can't even get over what, to me, it is. That woman just really triggered me this morning. The way she's going on, and I think like, oh, she's saying something good, like, New Age is good, and there's other religions besides Christianity. And you know what keeps popping up for me is, like, I'll turn on some movie, and it will be the Christians. Like, I watched one Sunday because Newcastle After Dark put on a new movie. I love when they put on movies. They put on these really old movies, and but movies from like back when I was younger. So they put on it was not Christopher Lee, not David Niven. This guy always reminds me of David Niven, but was in horror movies. But he looked kind of like David Niven, but I can't think of his name now. But he was in this. He was a super famous horror actor back then. And these are all these Christians. They have these, I would call them kind of like, not pilgrims, Puritans, kind of like Puritans or something. They had these big white collars. All these guys wore these big black hats, and all the men would get together in the town. All the men who knew they thought they knew best would get together, and they would decide who was a witch and who was. A lot of it, they would think if a woman was single, well, she's a witch, so let's go kill her. And I've been seeing so much of this stuff that it is how much murder has been done in God's name by the Christians. And these people still just like, I'm a Christian. Ah. It's like, I don't even, I just, like, I don't even know. I just, some of this stuff, it just blows my mind. Blows my mind. How do people put this shit together? And how it is just so based on limitations. Like, the Bible is so limiting. And they just, oh no, the Bible, that's it. Jesus. Oh no, he didn't. I don't even know. I mean, there's so much hypocrisy. There's so much not even questioning, just blind following, to the point where this morning I was like, maybe it's the Christians. They're all thinking they're going to be raptured out because Jesus is going to pull them up into the holy place. Then they're all going to go out. Then maybe it's them who aren't ascending. Maybe because they need to work out more time with this control and the book and the limiting beliefs. So maybe they're going to be the ones who don't ascend. I don't know. I don't even know how all this shit is going to go down when you still hear these people talking about the splitting of the earth. Like, I 100% don't think, I think so much of it is not literal. I think so much of what is talked about is like concepts. Like, it's a new earth. It's not going to be anything like the old earth. It's going to be a whole new state of being. And we are raising the vibration because of how we see things. It's us that are doing it. Like, it's just weird when I hear people talk about vibration and 5D and 3. It's like, but you're not talking about it on the right way. You're not looking at it in the right way. You're looking at it as it's like a car you can pull in and take off the wheels and get to the brakes. It's like, no, it's concepts. It's consciousness. It's our abilities to see outside the illusion. And I don't know, these people, they just, and not only do they need this book and this holy savior, but they get really mad if you don't agree with them. Yeah, I mean, to the point where they're out there, saying all of us are like devil people. It's like, okay, so the devil preaches that you need to heal yourself and love everybody. And God preaches, if you don't do what I say, then just kill them. They're worthless. Kill them. Upside down has really got some people confused. It's like, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it going the other direction, to the truth being shown. Like, it's something to watch some of these people. But like I've said, like, there's a lot of these people who have to go through this, who are processing it publicly, kind of, and that is going to be a part of their awakening. Like, I went out and I said all this stuff, and I was going out and saying this shit, and I was just talking out my ass. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe when everything goes the other way, I'll be the one who's on here like, whoa, man, that Bible, I wish I would have read it more. I didn't know it had all the truth, and I'm just a crazy person. I'll come out and say it. Like, I'm not going to hide from it. If I'm the crazy person, I'll fucking admit it. Like, everything that has been leading up through this whole journey since I started my awakening is, at some point I will see, like, am I just crazy? The whole thing is all along this whole ride that every fucking nugget that they have dropped to me has been right on. They show me over and over and over and over. They tell me things, then they show me things, they bring me confirmation, and, I feel like I'm pretty sure that the stuff I'm saying is right. It's a lot more right than the shit in the Bible. The stuff in the Bible is all just, I just don't understand how you can understand that the church is corrupt. Well, I mean, I don't think they think their neighborhood church is corrupt. I think they think like Jimmy Swaggart, oh yeah, he's corrupt. Oh, the Vatican, oh yeah, they're corrupt. Like, but they don't like see like, well, they're all working at the same place. Like, oh. But it's kind of like they want to confirm what they believe. Like, maybe that's all that we all do. And, I don't know. I feel like it is so primitive. It's so limiting. It's not seeing your own potential. It's holding yourself back. It's not even like, I mean, the book is holding you back, but you're giving the book the power. You're not going inside. You're not listening to your soul. You're putting everything on the outside. You're giving this book all of your faith. It's like, I don't know. I'm going to be so glad when the things go the other direction, and I know it's, hard and horrible. Did I even say what was going on in China? I don't even think I said. So it's so hot there. They've turned and they're the ones that supposedly the inventor of the fake sun. They've cranked it up so high that I saw somebody's shoes melt. Then their shoe fell off, and then they stepped down on the concrete and started trying to walk, and their foot was they were jumping. It was so hot, which I've walked, to the beach on the sand and had that happen. So I don't know. I mean, I've been in places where it's really hot and the ground gets really hot. So I don't know. I completely understand that when you touch your foot on the ground. Like, I don't know how hot it was. I thought that was pretty crazy. He has on a flip-flop and it melts and breaks. So then, but it's showing all the people. So everybody has left their houses. Their houses are too hot. They've turned off like power and stuff. They're not letting them have power or something. And so all of the people are out in the streets, and they've all gone into caves, and they've built rafts and stuff. They're just out on these rafts trying to cool off on top of the water, which they're going to drain all the water. You know that. And when the shit going on in Pakistan, what the fuck? Like, I told you there was going to be certain places that are going to be hit hard. And I think it has something to do with the energy there. Just like what I was saying, like, when I heard that guy from India talking, and, just the attitude. There's certain attitudes that have to have a big old fucking change. And so there's going to be certain places that are hit hard. I still think this place is going to be, because, they're just so zombied up here. They're so compliant. I motherfucking saw this girl. I'm going to hang out. I'll go after this because I know I'm just going all over the place. I'm just really worked up. I saw this fucking girl. Let me think what it was. I've got way too many of these people all coming into my head. Damn it. I can't remember. God, it just came in. I was like, oh crap, I gotta say that, because that was like, there is just a lot of wacky shit. Like, people have got to, I don't know, it's like the answers are inside of you, but they keep wanting to go out, like, looking outside of them, like, oh, well, Jesus is coming. This is the end of times, and you better get right with Jesus. It's like, you better get right with yourself. You better heal yourself. And, but, I mean, each soul knows what it's here to do. It's not going to do me any good to run around trying to tell these people. Their soul knows what their soul's here to do. It just is mind-blowing, because I'm anxious for this shit to be over. And it's like, as it's going, it's like, and we want it to be over. It's like, you don't know how bad it's going to get for some places. Like, is Mississippi going to have a huge amount of death? Like, there's old people who cannot go without drinking water. They become dehydrated super quick. I don't know. I just, we just gotta, you just gotta deal with whatever comes your way. You gotta stay strong, stay resilient, and keep dealing with whatever comes your way. And know in your heart, you know in your heart what you're here for. If you're here to get through this shit because you're headed for the new age, and it's all about the healing, it's all about, this new world that we're going to create as healed beings, because we won't accept someone treating us bad anymore. We will only accept, a certain kind of treatment. And people who that can't raise their vibration like that, they would be so miserable. They would be called out all the time. Nobody would want to hang out with them because they're so low vibration. They would not be able to exist. They will not be able to play their same games. They won't be able to live the same way. To the point, if they can't heal and raise their vibration, they'll transition out. Their energy it won't be in alignment. So there is no like, well, some killers could sneak through. There's no sneaking through. You can't sneak through. We are the creators of it. We are making it. We are the ones who, like, I just don't think people really understand what it all means, because they're so busy, I don't know, so busy focused on, Jesus somewhere up in the sky. Jesus and God are hanging out up in the sky, watching us all, watching people struggle, have no compassion. And then after that, I mean, we've got monsters, the aliens, the demons, they're all up there trying to cause us problems. It's like, okay, the multidimensional people are up there trying to give you information to help you so that you can heal. Oh, and another thing too, I've shared some of her TikToks. The one girl, her name's Alex. I think her show's Alex Serves Tea, and now she's moved on to YouTube. She became super, super popular on TikTok. And but yesterday I had seen one of her TikToks, and she said there is people on YouTube, because I guess people ask her, "Did you see that video about you? Did you see that video about you?" So I had seen last week, I talked about some girl had gone on hers. I went in and blocked this girl because she keeps going on all these spiritual people and then throwing them. I mean, it's like a feeding frenzy. She gets all her following to attack these people. And so I blocked her, bitch. So she was talking shit on Alex last week. It was like, I don't know all this stuff Alex talks about. I know for me that I go out and I see a lot of people talking about stuff that they don't know that much about, and that they're telling about it and they don't know everything about it. And that I find annoying. But so yesterday she said that she's just on her own awakening journey, and she's just taking people, she's just looking stuff up. She's trying to find the truth too. She's not trying to get everybody to, worship her or anything like that. She's just trying to, awaken and take other people along on her journey. And so she was saying that she didn't understand, like, these people who are so mean and toxic, who go on and just, they don't have their own content. They're just go on and their whole content is just ridiculing somebody else's content. Like that kind of negative stuff, see, that won't be able to continue. And when the energy goes the other direction and these people actually see, like, oh my God, I'm a real dick, some people won't be able to heal from it. Some people won't be able to face themselves. Everybody thinks like, oh, they're just so worried about having to face God. It's like, you're facing them every day. You just don't want to. You don't want to realize what it is, so you just stuff it down. But every time, you are your critic. You are your judge. It's not somebody else. It's you. You are the one. You feel your own judgment on self. And it's a super hard thing to go through. A super hard thing to heal is the shadow self. And so, and everything in the universe right now is pushing everybody to have to witness their shadow, to have to heal their shadow. It's just the universe is pushing hard because it's the only way into the new age. There is no going into the new age as a toxic person. It just is, it won't be possible. I feel really certain about that. And so I think there's a lot of people who won't be going. They're here to learn and stuff. I don't know, with all these super religious people, and I don't know. This is just, there's a lot of stuff that we are still, going to watch how this plays out. But when the energy goes back the other direction, all of this stuff is going to be exposed, and it's going to be, each person will have to, figure it out for themselves, have to heal their own stuff, have to face the humility of being wrong, humble themselves. And that is going to be, that's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. We'll just keep seeing how this goes. I don't know. I still didn't think of what it was that girl said that I wanted to tell. There were so many things that I've seen. And so many people just talking about, like, everything is coming out. Like, there is no hiding the stuff. I mean, anything you go on, there's people talking about everything. And so, I don't know, it's just going to keep building momentum. I think something big is still going to sweep in and just really blast everybody awake. And that is going to be the changing of the tides. We start going the other direction. And then I think it's not going to be that long until this solar flash or whatever it's going to be. We have got, like, there's people who do these energy updates all the time now, and we have got constant huge solar flashes coming in, and that has a big effect on the energy. So I don't know if that was part of the reason why my thing wouldn't download yesterday. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I got up, I did my recording, I set it to tape or to download, and then I left and went to the place. It should have been finished when I got home. The whole thing should have been downloaded. It wasn't even barely started. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I let it go for hours and hours, and then I tried to download another one because it was just not moving. So I tried another one, and then it was going, then the other one started going. And so then whatever one was going faster, I took one of them off. And so then it was going, and then it stopped. It got to like 83. It wouldn't go like for an hour, just kept sitting there and sitting there. So then I went and I downloaded another one and started it, and it started downloading. And then when it got up to where it was almost halfway, I took the other one off because it still hadn't moved. And then it took like 2 more hours. It took the entire day. It was 12 hours to get one fucking video downloaded. So I don't know if it was like the algorithm people, like I ended up, because I was having so many problems, it was 4 different videos. I kept trying to start it again and start it again. Then the one when I did with no hashtags, all of a sudden it went. And I didn't put a title, I didn't put hashtags. And then I was like, okay, so they didn't like what I had put. So on this one, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to see if I don't put any hashtags, what happens. But, I don't know if it is the energy from all these CMEs or the Schumann resonance or all that, because everybody is saying like that is going to be affecting so many different things, affecting how you feel, affecting if you feel worn out, if you feel sick, all sorts of things. And it is going to affect electronics and power grids and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm going to try and download this one, even though it's just ranting. I'm just like, oh my gosh, people have got to question shit inside themselves. Oh, I can't even, oh my gosh, I just can't even. It's like, So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.